pay close attention. I've got 4 calculators I'm going to show you examples of for a given problem, and we're going to use number 6 from the dimensional analysis homework. Looks sort of like this. Your number may look a little bit different, but it should be gallons to microliters. Okay. We'll start with Casio model. Okay, this particular model has a button EXP. That's what we're going to use in place of EE, which is what some of the TI models have. Works the same way. So let's get to it. We're starting with 6.01 e to the negative 2 gallons, so we'll just enter that in, 6.01 EXP and then negative 2. Okay, multiply that by 4. Notice how I don't use parentheses. I don't need to use parentheses if I have the EXP button or the EE button. Okay, we'll have a model of calculator that I'll show you that we do need parentheses for, but not for this one. And as long as you put a division sign in front of everything that you're dividing, you don't have to put what's in the bottom in parentheses either. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So the next one, I have to divide by 1.057. So I just put a divide sign in front of that, and then the next number I'm dividing is 1e to the negative 6 to convert to microliters. So I'll just put another divide sign and do 1 exp negative 6. Okay? And this looks like a decimal, 227 decimal, but it's actually a comma. So the Casio model will put a comma there, where other calculators will not do that. So the answer is actually 227,436. Okay. So that's the Casio. Let's use this one here. This is the one where you will have to use parentheses. So I'll input the same stuff, 6.01. But instead of using EE, this particular calculator has a button times 10 to the n. Okay, that's the button that you will use. But let me go back. I'll just clear this and start with parentheses. 6.01 times 10 to the negative 2. And then I hit this over button right here to get back down. Close my parentheses, multiply by 4, divide by 1.057, and then divide again, and then have parentheses here for this 1e to the negative 6. So for this calculator it's going to be 1 times 10 to the negative 6. See if this thing will focus a little better. That's not much better. Okay. So you see here, 1 times 10 to the negative 6. I'm going to hit this button to get back down. Close my parentheses. And then I'll get the same number, 227,436. Let me show you what happens if you don't use parentheses. So I'll do the exact same thing except no parentheses, and you'll see how wacky my number comes out to be. Times 4 divided by 1.057 and divided by 1 times 10 negative 6. You see it's completely off. Okay. And the reason it's completely off is because it's not doing 6.01 times 10 to the negative 2. It's multiplying everything by that. So at the very end it's multiplying the whole thing by 10 to the negative 6. Or dividing, sorry, multiplying by 10 to the negative 6 where it should be dividing by 10 to the negative 6. See, 1 times 10 to the negative 6 is in the denominator, but the calculator thinks it's actually multiplying by it. Okay, so that's the difference. You need to have parentheses if you're going to use this calculator and that button, which you should do. Just keep in mind you need to use parentheses. Okay. So a lot of you had this calculator model. This one is similar to the first one we used, the Casio, except instead of exponent it has EE. So 6.01 EE negative 2, but again with this one we do not need parentheses, times 4 divided by 1.057 and then divide again. Remember, we got to have that divide sign again by 1 e to the negative 6. Okay? Get the same answer. Fourth model. Okay, very similar, not as fancy as the TI-36, but we still have this EE button. Okay, so 6.01 E negative 2. Notice how my exponent shows up right here instead of in the line with the problem. That's okay. Times 4 divided by 1.057 and then divide again by 1 e to the negative 6. Okay? Get the same answer, 227,436. With this one though, since it doesn't put out the entire problem in front of you, you kind of have to keep track of what you've pushed. Might be a good idea to actually write down what it is after each step, because you don't have it all out in front of you. Okay, alright, I hope that helps some of you guys be able to use your calculators better and avoid confusion and be much faster on quizzes and tests. Have a good night. See you Monday.